Good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Ragsdale Field at Burger King Stadium on the campus of Columbus State University. It is nearing the end of the regular season here, the 2017 season coming to a close. We have two final games as the visiting Jaguars of Augusta are in town, and keep in mind that neither of these two games are going to be counted as conference games. So even though these two teams both reside within the Peach Belt Conference, these two games are more of a tune-up, if you will, for the Peach Belt Conference tournament that will begin shortly. Welcome, everyone. I'm Corey Aldis inside the booth tonight, and we are excited to bring this matchup for y'all. Again, as mentioned, both of these two teams needing someone to play at the end of their regular season. Again, they don't play everyone within conference, and these two teams were two of the teams that didn't face each other this season, and so they're playing a little bit of a exhibition, if you will, but will still count towards the regular season overall record. So it's a two-game series here against Augusta this weekend. Well, we get things started with our star ace, Caleb Cucci, on the mound tonight for the Cougars. What a season it's been so far for Cucci, as he has been one of the best pitchers, not only in the Peach Belt Conference, but the entire nation as well. Cucci this season, second in the nation in wins with 10. He's got a 10-1 record, just a 3.02 ERA, and might as well tack on 99 strikeouts as well. So as usual, he'll get things started for the Cougars, and why not a first pitch pop-up in foul territory, and that's how the first out will be recorded here at Ragsdale Field. Well, we welcome everyone joining us here this evening for this series before the Peach Belt Conference Tournament gets underway. Again, as far as the standings go right now, the Cougars are in the 4th spot, UNC Pembroke in the 5th spot. They may swap spots depending upon how UNC finishes in their final Peach Belt Conference series that they have this weekend against Armstrong State. Even if they win, or no matter what happens with UNC Pembroke, these two will face each other in the first round of the PBC tournament. Just depends on who's the home team, who gets to wear their white unis, the 4 or the 5 seed. Cucci delivering a strike there. It's 0-2. Well, this has been Cucci's forte this entire season, as time and time again he's been getting ahead of batters in the count. We mentioned how strong he is as far as the win department goes and the strikeouts go. He's also got second in the entire nation in complete games as well, with 8, trailing the nation's leader by just 1. 2 quick outs already as Cucci's working fast on the mound. So this season, Augusta comes into this series this weekend with a 20-24 record, sitting at just 10-14 and Peach Belt Conference play. That puts them in the 8th spot right now. Heading into the tournament, they'll obviously be taking on North Georgia, who's the number 1 seed. A little grounder up to Evans, and look at Cucci going 1, 2, 3 to get this one started. That's how the Cougars like to do it, a 0 up on the board to start. So the Jaguars go 3 up, 3 down to get their offensive series started as Caleb Cucci does work on the mound, and now the bats will come up for the Cougars here in the bottom of the first. Again, this series having no determination whatsoever in the Peach Belt Conference standings, so keep that in mind, even though these two teams both reside within the PBC. Leading things off, as usual, for the Cougars, it'll be the center fielder, Tyler Fichter. Well, Fichter's had quite a season for himself so far, hitting .317 this year, and he's reached base in 22 of his last 23 games. He's been on a phenomenal streak for the Cougars this season, the 4-year starter out of Davie, Florida. Taking the mound tonight for the Jaguars is going to be Tristan Jones. So you see him out there for Augusta. He's 4-5 this season. Started 12 games with an ERA of 5.17. So something that you like to see, at least statistically, if you're the Cougars. This may be an opportunity Friday and Saturday to get things heating up once again with their offense. That's something that's been lacking as of late, and you know, we've talked with Coach Appleton as well as far as the importance of making sure that these bats will come around and be ready come tournament play. Right now it's a 1-2 count as Fichter sends one into right field. So a leadoff hit for the center fielder puts a base runner on the path for the Cougars. Runner over on first base, and that'll bring up the sophomore, Justin Evans. What an improvement it's been for Evans this season. Played 45 games last year as a freshman, hit just .212, mostly sat near the bottom of the lineup, and here he is this season hitting .295, and he's been in that 2-hole for most of it. He's got 36 RBIs to go along with 8 home runs as well, but in a little bit of a funk is the sophomore right now, hitting just 1 for his last 22, and that encompasses the previous 5 games. Now's the time to try to get things turned around if you're the sophomore. Off-speed pitch as Evans was way ahead of that one. So Jones has gone 76 2/3 innings. He's given up 44 runs, has only struck out 43 batters, and right now he's allowing his opponents to hit .277 on him, and that's really been the key, a key statistic as far as where Augusta has really struggled this season as Evans hits it right up the middle, and that's going to be back-to-back singles for the Cougars. Well, we mentioned the batting average, and right now Augusta, the Jaguars, are letting their opponents just crush the ball this season. They rank 12th in the Peach Belt Conference, which puts them in second to last. They allow their opponents to hit over 300, 307 to be exact. And after giving up back-to-back singles to lead off the bottom of the first, this is the last player you want to see inside the batter's box if you're Augusta. One of the best in the entire Peach Belt Conference and nation as that slider comes across for a strike there. McClellan, 8th in the PBC in batting average, hitting .388 this season. He's 3rd in home runs with 16 of them. He has done very well for himself to replace his older brother who just graduated here last year. Been a few games for McClellan, though. He last homered in the series against Francis Marion back on April 22nd. Right now, 2 runners on, first and second base, and it's a 2-1 count. You could say McClellan has been hot pretty much all season, but in his last 3 games, he's gone 4 of 9 with 4 runs and 4 RBIs. The 2-1 pitch, McClellan sends that one into deep right field. It's not going to be deep enough as that ball is caught there in a right field by Evans, and that will at least move Fichter on over to third. So just getting underneath that one a little bit was McClellan, but runners on the corners now with only 1 out.
The designated hitter, number 7, Lake Hart.
Well, last season, the Cougars, one of the best in the entire nation in batting average, RBI, home runs, doubles. I mean, you could keep going down the line in all of their statistics. They were right up there with the best of them. This season, a little bit of a different advantage that the Cougars have had as they graduated many of their hard hitters. They lost a lot of talent within the batting order, and they've had to replace most of it. Meanwhile, they brought back pretty much every single pitcher as Evans takes off for second base and slides in safely. No surprise there as Justin Evans picks up his 24th stolen base of the year. He leads the entire Peach Belt Conference in that category. So I mentioned all the pitchers coming back, but the ERA last season for the Cougars was at quite a high rate with a 5.49 ERA, but what a turnaround it's been this season. Just a 3.61 ERA. They basically have flip-flopped where they had the advantage in batting. They now have it in pitching this season, and it's the batting that's trying to catch up to them. Cougars hitting just .291 this year through 46 games. Easy comparison is to last season when they hit .343 as a team. 2-0 count, gets past the catcher there and sliding in, not even having to slide in, just running across the plate there is Fichter for the Cougars. So Evans put himself in scoring position with the stolen base to second. Now the wild pitch to the backstop allows Fichter to come home, and Evans moves on over to third base as the Cougars take the 1-0 lead. Well, you couldn't have asked for a better start if you're CSU tonight. Right now, Hart inside the batter circle, sitting on a 3-0 pitch, and he's going to pick up the RBI single. Cougars in front, 2-0. Evans comes across for his team-leading 46th run this year as Lake Hart delivers his 27th RBI. An extremely positive sign if you're a Lake Hart, the second-year player here for the Cougars, the transfer from South Georgia State College. He was just 3 for 31 over his past 5 games, so a nice bounce back there and an opportunity to try and move that batting average up. He's hitting .266 this season.
The catcher, number 33, Bryce Delavy.
So Tristan Jones already having a coach come on out there and have a few words with him. He's been struggling to start in this one, and surprisingly, the only out that he's gotten was the best hitter on the entire team, McClellan. Two runs already for the Cougars. 1 down and a runner over on first base. That's Lake Hart. At the plate right now is the catcher, Delavy. Sophomore transfer out of Wallace Community College down in Dothan. So this is his first season with the Cougars, and it's already been a great one. He's started in every game that he's played in. This is his 40th start of the season. He's hitting .301 with 13 multi-hit games this season. 3 hits already for the Cougars as a team. That pitch outside, it's 1-1. Delavy without a hit in his last 10 at-bats. We've already seen Evans and Hart kind of break out of their mini slumps, if you'll call them that, and that one is sent into center field, but Wagner settles underneath it for the second out. Turner Vincent walking to the plate for the Cougars, making his 43rd start of the year. He too, a transfer from Wallace State Community College, but he was attending that down in Hanceville. So opposite from Dothan, as Turner Vincent, this is his first season with the Cougars. And boy, has he been a huge pickup for CSU, hitting .303 this year, but has an incredible on-base percentage of .460. Right now he's got Hart over on first base and a 1-0 count. Swinging and missing there was Vincent. Cougars hitting just .291 as a team. They average just over 6 runs, and look at them here in this bottom of the first. They've already got 2 on the scoreboard. And Turner Vincent is going to get hit by a pitch. Are they going to say that he didn't move out of the way? Yep, so it's going to be a 2-1 count instead, as Vincent was trying to sell that one to the home plate umpire, and it's no surprise because Vincent is second in the entire nation right now. In times he's been hit by a pitch. He's been hit by a pitch 21 times this year. The nation's leader just 1 ahead of him, so that would have tied it, as Coach Appleton comes on out and wants to have a word with the home plate umpire there. I mean, if you talk about taking one for the team, well, Turner Vincent's your guy. 21 times that he's been hit, I'll pass on that. Just needs one more, though, to tie the nation's leader. I think umpires are aware of his ability to draw the ball right to his body. That pitch outside, swinging for it, and it pops out of play. 2-2. Vincent out of Dothan, Alabama, the junior left-handed hitter for the Cougars. Over on first base is Hart. That one chopped foul. Cougars lost their last game. It was just a 1-game series that they played on the road at Point. They lost that one 3-1, and right now Augusta coming in with a 2-game winning streak. They beat Lander in the second game of their series, and Claflin 10-4. That one hit into deep left field, but right there is Hardy for the third and final out. Now before the Cougars get a couple runs on the board, they have a 2-0 lead as we head to the second on Cougar Sports TV. Top of the second here at Ragsdale Field. It's a 2-0 lead as the Cougars got on the board as, boy, back-to-back hits to lead things off for the Cougars, and They were rolling there in the bottom of the first. If you give Cucci an early lead, well, it's going to be hard to overtake him, as Cucci has already been going the distance in almost every single start this season. Caleb Cucci right now with 8 complete games, the nation's leader, sitting 1 ahead of him at 9. It's hard to pull Cucci out of a game, and rightfully so, as he has just been dominating time and time again this season. Went a quick 3 up, 3 down in that first inning, and we'll see if he can do the same here. At the plate, number 8, Jamal Cummings, the designated hitter. He'll be followed up by Carrington Evans and then Cole Janowsic. Cummings hitting .277 this season for the Jaguars, making his 38th start of the year. Not really a power hitter, but he is going to walk on down to first base there as Cucci puts his first base runner on the base paths.
Right fielder number 11, Carrington Evans.
So that'll bring up Carrington Evans, the right fielder for Augusta. This just his first year as a member of the Jaguars, the freshman coming out of Cartersville, Georgia. You've got Cummings over there on first base. He's stolen 13 bags this year, but not going to have a chance there as Evans lifts it into a right field, and Webb is there for the first out of the second. Again, a leadoff walk to start this inning for Caleb Cucci. Still over there on first is Cummings. Evans just flying out. And now Janowsic at the plate. First pitch off the end of the bat and fouled towards the dugout of the Cougars. One of the players down there trying to snag that one. Janowsic second on the team for the Jaguars in batting average, hitting .319 this season, and he is amongst one of the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference in one of the categories. That's triples this year. He's 4th in the PBC with 4 triples. Cucci back to first again, and they got him! Caleb Cucci with the pickoff for the Cougars. 2 down. A quick move and a throw over by Caleb Cucci there. Fantastic job. That's his 3rd pickoff of the season. So now the base paths are empty for Janowsic, and 2 are down. 1 more to go to end this frame. 0-1 pitch. Cucci delivers, swinging and missing there. 0-2. Again, it's the top of the second here at Ragsdale Field. In case you're just joining us, it's a 2-0 Cougar lead. They played at 2 in the bottom of the first to get things rolling. Off the end of the bat, fouled out of play, remains 0-2. Cougars scored on a wild pitch as Victor was on third base, and then right after that, Lakehart singled through the right side, scoring Justin Evans. That's how the Cougars got their 2 runs. Right now it's an 0-2 count with 2 down and the base is empty. Just outside. Janowsic this season, only 21 strikeouts on the year. That one low and inside, now 2-2. Augusta has really struggled on the road this season. They're just 6-17 when they travel away from home. Cucci, the 2-2. Full count. First full count of this one here as Cucci delivers the payoff, and that one's popped up. Charging in is Fichter from center field, and he'll call everyone off there for the third and final out. No runs come across again, thanks to the pickoff from Caleb Cucci. 2-0 still the score as we head to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second here at Burger King Stadium. 2-0, the Cougars are in front. So no surprise as Cucci has been rolling early here, and we'll see if the Bats can continue the scoring for Columbus State. 3 hits and 2 runs in the bottom of the first. And now leading things off here in the bottom of the second, it'll be Drew Webb. So the right fielder for the Cougars, one of the freshmen on the team. Webb picking up his 33rd start of the year, hitting .283 with 16 RBIs and 20 runs. Freshman looks at that pitch there, and it's 1-1. So Drew Webb out of Midland, Georgia, went to Brookstone High School. As he looks at the 1-1 pitch there and fouls it off, 1-2. Cougars 16-5 here at Burger King Stadium. They've done well to win most of their games here, protecting their home territory. They did have the series loss against North Georgia, who sits atop the Peach Belt Conference. They took that first game from them and then fell in the final two, 5-3 and 3-0. 2-2 count. Webb off the end of his bat and just over the first baseman's glove. That was Lanford, or he was trying to snag that one, or Bogosian that is. Just missed that one, and another base hit for the Cougars.
The second baseman, number 10, Grant Berry.
So over Bogosian's glove and reaching first base is Webb, as Berry's now at the plate. Berry, the left-handed hitter for the Cougars out of Marietta, Georgia. Berry, who had been struggling a little bit lately, is now on a tear for the Cougars. He's has hits in 7 of his last 16 at bats. He's got a 6-game hitting streak right now for the Cougars. That one slowly hit up the middle, and a possible double play is going to be turned, and it will be. Starting that one off was a Lanford to Roberts and back to Bogosian. Well, right as we talk about Grant Berry heating things up, he rolls one into a double play.
The third baseman, number 2, Landon Cooper.
We get a chance to see Landon Cooper here tonight for the Cougars, making just his 9th start of the season. Started at Francis Marion, picked up the start at point as well. So he's been coming on for Coach Appleton as of late, and Coach Appleton kind of playing around a little bit with Cooper over there at third base. You've noticed Drennan over there as well throughout the season. Switching things up here as we head closer to the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. But another slow roller over to Lanford will end the bottom of the second. Just one hit, but the double play and inning ground out will play 0 runs for the Cougars. It's 2-0 though after 2 on Cougar Sports TV. Top of the third here on Cougar Sports TV. Caleb Cucci back out there. It's a 2-0 lead. Cougars in front. Both of their runs coming in the bottom of the first. Again, keep in mind the 2-game series between these two will not result in any difference in the Peach Belt Conference standings. Still a regular season game for these two, but more so of an exhibition to prepare themselves for the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, which will be coming up right around the corner. Cucci ahead once again, 0-2. Almost feel like you can hear that phrase with, what, 2/3 of the batters that he faces? Already 99 strikeouts coming into this one. What a turnaround season Cucci has had for the Cougars. Right now, there are no strikeouts this evening. Got a whole bunch of flyouts to start this one. 2-2 pitch. Swinging and missing there as picking up his first strikeout of the night is Cucci. That's strikeout number 100 on the season. The senior out of Marietta getting things done and leading the way has a real prime opportunity to win Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year. These are stats that are not only leading the Peach Belt Conference, but leading the entire nation as well. Great pitch right there, sliding right back across the middle, 0-1 count. Davis Murray at the plate, another freshman for the Jaguars. Murray, the catcher for Augusta this season. Comes to the Jaguars out of Evans, Georgia. That slowly gets up to Evans, and he's not going to be able to make the play. The throw probably would have been in time, but Evans maybe slightly took his eye off the ball there as he will pick up the error. That's just the 8th error of the season for the shortstop. And again, the Cougars, one of the best fielding teams in the Peach Belt Conference. And they're 4th overall in the entire nation. They've got a .977 fielding percentage this year. So an uncharacteristic error from Evans puts a runner on first base. Wagner at the plate. The lefty from Stone Mountain sends that one into right field, and that's going to be the first base hit of the night for Augusta. The Cougars in a little bit of a trouble here as Cucci has runners on first and second. Two on the base paths, and the leadoff hitter, top of the lineup, back around for Augusta, Cody Lanford. Lanford popped up in his first at-bat to McClellan over at first. Murray on second, Wagner on first. An error and a single have two on the base paths. 2-0. The Cougars second in the Peach Belt Conference in their opponent's batting average this season. Cucci personally allowing his opponents to hit just .243 off of him. There's a strike down the middle, 2-1. The senior sends that one in. A chance for a double play here. Cooper can't hang on to it, and now the bases are going to be loaded for the Jaguars. A critical error there. That's two errors already here in the top of the third. Well, that .977 fielding percentage is going to dip on down a little bit. Back-to-back errors for the Cougars. Well, you have an error, a single, and an error, that is. So bases loaded right now for Tyler Roberts. Of all people to load the bases for, he's the best hitter in the entire team. They're going to say foul ball there as the runners will have to come on back. And Augusta is not going to be happy with that call. Looked like it just missed the bag there. Close call, though. Obviously, third base umpire had a home plate umpire, that is, had a better view than I did, and he ruled it foul. So the count 0-1, and the runners will have to all go on back to their respective base. So Cucci will do it all over again. Sends that one in, and it goes right back up the middle and past a diving Evans into center field. 2 runs are going to score, and now this game is all tied up at 2 apiece. Roberts delivering for Augusta with his 27th and 28th RBIs of the season. And just like that, the errors come back to bite the Cougars. Well, we're so used to seeing Evans make these incredible defensive plays, unable to make that diving grab there, and then, again, keep in mind to lead off the inning, he bobbled the one coming in on him. 2-2 the score now as Augusta ties this one up here in the top of the third. Got both of their runs off of 2 hits, but the 2 errors on the Cougars here really doing some damage. We'll see if Caleb Cucci can bounce back here on the mound. At the plate, Clint Hardy. Hardy 0 for 1 with a ground out in his first at-bat. The 1-1 count is sent into left field. That might drop in fair territory, and it is, but making the grab out there is going to be Turner Vincent. Boy, he covered a lot of ground on that one as he was chasing it down towards the foul line territory. So Vincent making the play for the Cougars, and it was a much-needed defensive play there. 2 down now, runners on first and second. See if Cucci can get out of this one with Cummings at the plate. Cummings drew a walk in his first at-bat, but then he was picked off on first base. The left-handed senior. 1-0 count as that one is sent into deep right field, and it's going to go over the head of Drew Webb. It is a 3-run home run as Augusta now takes the 5-2 lead. Just the second home run of the season for Jamal Cummings. Well, that's quite the turn of events here at Ragsdale Field. Cucci was just cruising through the first couple of innings. Couple of errors defensively between Evans and Cooper. And then with 2 outs, Cummings goes yard for just his second home run. 3 RBIs. That's now 24 on the season for Cummings. Boy, Cucci was just 1 out away from getting out of the top of the third with it being tied. So the bats are going to have to keep things rolling for the Cougars as they'll have to play catch-up now. Oh, 2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. Caleb Cucci's given up 13 home runs now on the season, leading the entire team, but again, he's also leading them, obviously, in innings pitched as well. Just past the 100-inning count this game. Last season, Cucci had a 5.79 ERA and 74 2/3 innings pitched. Just a 4-1 record, only struck out 59. Again, it's been a massive turnaround for Cucci, even dating all the way back to his freshman season. But after getting ahead in the count 0-2, he then delivers a walk as, again, another base runner is going to reach the paths for the Jaguars. So Evans over on first base, and now Janowsic at the plate. Boy, Cucci desperately looking for this third and final out. Evans just 2 stolen bases this season. That one is fouled off, 0-1. Janowsic 0 for 1 as he flew out in his first at-bat. Second on the team, though, in batting average with .319. He's got 22 RBIs. That one sent up to Justin Evans, and there's the third and final out. So a couple of errors, 3 hits, and 5 runs. A lot of damage done there by Augusta in the top of the third. The Cougars trail by 3 as we head to the bottom of the third. Well, here we go. It's comeback time for the Cougars.
Leading off
They
the
find
Cougars,
themselves down by 3 runs all of a sudden, 5-2. Top of the lineup coming back around. Tyler Fichter at the plate for CSU. Boy, those errors, really a surprise for the Cougars. Again, we mentioned how great they've been defensively this season. Leading the way, not only in the Peach Belt Conference, but 4th in the entire nation, 977. But Evans with the miscue. Cooper picking up just his 3rd error of the season, and things started to unravel there for CSU. Plenty of time, though, left in this one. We're only in the bottom of the 3rd. Chance for the Cougars to turn things around. Victor looks at a strike on the outside there, 1-1. That one popped up. Victor not happy about that at all. Calling everyone off, though, there is the shortstop, Tyler Roberts. So he makes the grab in shallow center field. One down. Evans back at the plate. Evans 1 for 1 with a run and picked up yet another stolen base. His 24th this season. Tristan Jones has really been settling in here for the Jaguars. Again, he came into this one with a pretty high ERA of 5.17 through his 12 starts. Swinging and missing there was Evans, 1-1. Base is empty here for the sophomore. Two and 1 the count now. Again, it's a 3-run lead for Augusta in the bottom of the 3rd. Scored all 5 of their runs in the top frame of this inning. 2-1 pitch. Evans fouls that one off. Two count. Pitch got him. Squeezed Evans on that play as he will head on back to the dugout. 2 down for the Cougars. McClellan will step on up. It was a little bit of a surprise in that bottom of the 1st as the Cougars led things off with back-to-back singles and then had another one from Hart, but McClellan was the only one who wasn't getting in on the action. The .388 hitter on the year. McClellan flying out in his first at-bat. Right now he's ahead 1-0. Pitch delivered. McClellan takes that one into deep center field, going all the way back towards the wall and making the grab right there at the warning track was Wagner. Mason McClellan just missing out on a bomb there. 5-2 still a score after 3. 5-2 the score here as the Cougars find themselves down in this one. Again, this is just a 2-game regular season series between the Cougars and the Jaguars of Augusta. No impact on the Peach Belt Conference standings. The Cougars are set in either the 4 or the 5 seed as the Peach Belt Conference tournament will get underway coming on up. Again, they will either be the 4 seed, which they're at currently, or if UNC Pembroke passes them by finishing with a sweep over Armstrong State, they can get the 4 seed, and that would make the Cougars the 5 seed. But both of these teams are going to be playing each other, CSU and UNC Pembroke, that is, to start things off in the Peach Belt Conference tournament. And the Cougars had some success earlier this season against UNC Pembroke. They lost the first game 2-1, and then took the next two 12-2 and 5-3. So they outscored them 17-5 over the last 2 games, and as a matter of fact, 18-6 over the entire 3-game series. All 3 of those games were on the road at UNC Pembroke as well. Right now, Bogosian at the plate. Bloops one into left field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. No play able to be made there for the Cougars defensively, and that'll be another base runner on for the Jaguars. So Davis Murray now at the plate for Augusta. Jake Bogosian over on first base. Not really any threat to steal over there on first, just 1 stolen base on the year. Strike call to start this at bat. Four hits now for the Jaguars. Great pitch there, 0-2. And swinging and missing there, and picking up his second strikeout is Cucci. Coming in too hot to handle there, as taking a seat will be Murray, and that will bring up Wagner. Great turnout here at Ragsdale Field for Cougar baseball. Stands are filling in nicely tonight as that one is sent into right field, and Drew Webb, a great jump on that one from the outfielder. The freshman making a play there for the Cougars, 2 down. We're back to the top of the lineup once again for Augusta. 3rd plate appearances coming around for the Jaguars. Lanford right now 0 for 2, but he did score a run as he reached on one of those errors. That was how things started to fall apart for the Cougars in the previous inning. Cucci, though, makes the play over to first, and that'll do it here in the top of the 4th. 5-2, still a score. Cougars trail by 3. Here we go to the bottom of the fourth. Cougars trying to get back into this one. They trail by 3. Score is 5-2. Augusta scoring all 5 of their runs in the top of the third. Hart at the plate. He's 1 for 1 on the night. Also picked up that RBI when he singled through the right side. That was Hart's 27th RBI this season. First pitch, Hart chops it over to second base, and Lanford is right there for the first out. Again, Tristan Jones on the mound, and he had a rocky start, giving up 3 singles to the first 4 batters. But since then, he's really settled in. The senior out of Kingsland, Georgia. He went to Camden County High School. 6'1", 230, right-handed pitcher, and been getting a lot of ground outs lately, as that one is hit deep into the hole. Try to turn and make the play. It's not going to be in time, though, as Lanford unable to deliver that one in time. Coach coming on out to have a word with the umpire, but to be honest, I don't think that was really that close, as the first baseman there, Bogosian, was in mid-air with the ball, as coming right across first base there was the base runner, Delavy.
The left fielder, Turner Vincent.
Delavy not really the fastest runner there for the Cougars in that situation, but he reaches first base nonetheless. So he's over at first base, and Turner Vincent at the plate. We thought Turner Vincent had gotten hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, but umpire said he kind of leaned into that one, which is, let's say, typical of Turner Vincent, and so he wasn't able to take first base. After that, he proceeded to fly out, stranding a runner on the base paths. Right now, he's got another runner out there. It's Delavy over on first base. Vincent, a .303 batting average. Right now, he's ahead in the count, 1-0. 1 down for the Cougars. Swinging and missing there, 1-1. Jones taking his time. Tried going back to first base, and that ball gets away from the first baseman, Bogosian. Delavy is going to round second base. He's trying to go all the way over to third, and he's going to get there in time, standing up. Well, that could prove to be a costly error for the Jaguars, and one the Cougars have a chance to pounce all over. So the catcher, Delavy, all of a sudden finds himself all the way over on third base, and a runner in scoring position here for Vincent, who's got 26 RBIs on the season. One and one the count. Just getting ahead of that one and sending it foul was Vincent. The lefty out of Northview High School. Chance here to cut this lead down to 2. Right now, it's a 2-2 count. Again, Delavy over on third base. The pitch fouled off. Cougars, if they can win both of these games, would finish the regular season with a 30-18 record. Slightly different from last season when they finished 42-14 atop the Peach Belt Conference. Right now they sit at the 4 seed as Vincent strikes out on a high pitch. That one got blown right past Turner Vincent, and now there's 2 outs. Runner Delavy still over on third base. Well, the freshman got a good jump on the ball defensively in right field. We'll see if he can make something happen here now at the plate. Drew Webb up there for the Cougars right now. Webb 1 for 1 on the evening. He had that single to lead things off in the bottom of the second. One on the count. That one inside and having to turn away, and looks like it might have clipped Webb there as he will head on down to first base. We've got runners now on the corners for the Cougars.
The second baseman, Grant Berry.
Webb getting hit there by that pitch. Just the first time this season that he's been hit by a pitch. He's over on first, Delavy on third. At the plate is Grant Berry. Berry grounded into that double play in his first at-bat. 2 down, right back up the middle, making a sliding grab there and a flip over to second base. How about the shortstop, Tyler Roberts, saving the day for the Jaguars. 5-2, still the score. Cougars trail by 3. Top of the 5th inning here at Ragsdale Field. Still a 5-2 score. Augusta in front of CSU. Again, all 5 runs came in the top of the 3rd. Couple of errors by the Cougars defensively, and they all of a sudden find themselves down in this one. Cucci still out there on the mound. No surprise there for CSU. Pick things back up there in the 4th inning and see if he can keep things rolling as well here in the 5th. 8 complete games this season, looking for number 9, which would tie him up top the NCAA lead. It's not often that you have someone who's already, well, he hasn't given up all 5 of those runs. Not all of them were earned because of the 2 errors, but there's a single up the middle past Evans into center field. So another single for Augusta. That's 5 hits now on the night. That one sent into deep right field. Webb giving chase all the way back at the wall and makes the leaping grab. The freshman making the play there for the Cougars. No dice for Carrington Evans there as he will head on back to the dugout. Jamal Cummings now at the plate. 1 down. Runner over on first base. Cucci, boy, really feeling that pickoff move as he already picked up his 3rd of the season tonight. Cucci, the senior, delivers the 1-0 pitch, swinging and missing there, 1-1. Cucci has had complete games in his past 4 starts. That one right back up to the pitcher. A high throw there. Evans trying to come down with the tag, unable to do so, and this time the error is going to go on Cucci. Boy, 3 errors now for CSU. Complete surprise here for the Cougars with the errors that they're picking up. Cucci, just his 2nd error of the season. And now you're starting to play with a little bit of fire, already down 3 with 2 on. Evans at the plate right now. The right fielder for the Jaguars. He's got runners on first and second. Cummings on first, Roberts on second. Cucci ahead right now on 1. Sends it home and low, 1-1. Again, 5 runs have come across for Augusta, but 0 earned to Cucci with those 2 errors that were picked up in the top of the 3rd. Another error here, but that one courtesy of Cucci. They're going to say the batter went around there, and the Augusta fans are not happy about that one. Took a little bit of time for that call to come in, and that makes the count 1-2. Tough break there for Evans. Cucci low, 2-2. Got a few Augusta fans here in the stands at Ragsdale Field. They've come to enjoy a weekend up here in Columbus. What better place to come in the Peach Belt Conference? 2-2 pitch. Cucci has walked 2 batters in this one and has struck out 2 as well. Normally extremely efficient on that strikeout to walk ratio. Pitch there, singled right through the right side. Runner is going to come home for Augusta as they now take a 6-2 lead, and advancing the second on that is going to be Evans. Evans delivering for the Jaguars, picking up an RBI here in the top of the 5th.
Third baseman Cole Janelson.
Boy, things starting to fall apart here for CSU. They now trail by 4 runs. 2 runners in scoring position, and only 1 out. Janowski at the plate. He is 0 for 2. on the evening with a ground out and a fly out. One and one. Well, the ever-reliable Caleb Cucci, who's been so dominant this season. This is his last regular season start of the year, and it's been a tough one for the Cougars, not just for him, but also defensively as well. Lowest strikeout total that he's had all season is 6. Right now, Cucci's sitting at just 2 for the Cougars. That pitch just outside, and ball 4. Third walk delivered by the senior on the mound. Bases are loaded for the second time tonight for Augusta. And now Coach Appleton is going to walk on out and have a word with the senior. Well, the Cougars, though, just one double play here from getting out of this jam as Cucci has the bases loaded. And again, he went a complete game in his last 4 starts. Although, in a couple of those, I mean, he's given up 9, 10 hits. But he's been getting runners out once they reach the base paths. A lot of that has to do with this Cougar defense this season, as they're one of the best in the entire nation. Not just fielding percentage, but first in the nation in double plays turned with 53. Quick visit there for Coach Appleton. App in his 20th season for CSU picked up his 700th win of his career earlier this season. Was .695 and .374 coming into this year. I'll let you do the math on that one, as the Cougars are 28 and 18 overall. Cucci delivers a ball to start this at-bat. Bogosian, the left-handed hitter, now ahead 2-0. We're looking for a ground ball here to try and turn 2. The 2-0 pitch. Thought about it. No swing. Now ahead 3-0. Well, there's no room on the base paths here for Cucci. Behind 3-0 with the bases loaded and only 1 out, down 4 runs. Cucci delivers, and there's the strike. Well, in this situation, you can only build your confidence pitch by pitch. You just picked up a strike. How about another one? There's a foul tip there, and now the count is full, 3-2. Great opportunity here for Cucci to bounce on back in this at-bat. Full count, bases loaded, only 1 out. Cucci delivers, that one fouled off again. Bogosian on the season, hitting just .259 for Augusta, and he's only got 12 RBIs on the year. Out of the 9 starters for Augusta this season, he sits all the way down in 8th. That pitch outside, he's going to pick up an RBI as he draws a bases-loaded walk, and it's now 7-2.
Catcher Davis Murray.
5 hits, 7 runs, but again, 3 errors defensively for the Cougars. Here we go again. New batter. That one sent up the middle. Evans from his behind, falling down and gets the double play. 54th double play this season for the Cougars. They trail, though, 7-2. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Here we go, bottom of the 5th. Cougars back at the plate after the double play led by Justin Evans. Falling down, flipping it over to second base, and 2 runs, though, still came across for the Jaguars. Last one courtesy of the bases-loaded walk that was drawn. Cucci's got a lot of work to build up as trying to race on down the first base is Cooper, but not quite in time. Quick out for CSU. Top of the lineup coming back around for the 3rd time tonight. 1 for 2 on the night is Victor. Did pick up a run there in the bottom of the 1st. Flew out in his other at bat. Still out there is Tristan Jones for Augusta. He's really kind of found his groove. He's gone 4 1/3, has given up 5 hits, 2 earned, struck out 2, hasn't walked a single batter. He's only at 56 pitches as well. Cucci a much higher pitch count with 81. Again, 3 errors uncharacteristic for CSU. 1 by Evans, Cooper, and Caleb Cucci. That pitch just paints the corner there. 2-1. Victor looks at a strike, same spot, 2-2. Great pitch there again from Jones. Really has the Cougars thinking things inside the batter's box. It was looking like it was going to be an easy night to lead things off with 3 of the first 4 batters getting singles, but there's Victor again, his 2nd hit of the night. Top of the lineup delivers for CSU there. Victor on first, Evans after his great defensive play at the plate. Evans, like Victor, was 1 for 2 coming into this plate appearance with a run. Struck out looking in his other at-bat. Victor over on first base. He's got 12 stolen bases this season. Some decent speed over there for the Cougars. Evans was 1 for 22 in his last 5 games, but trying to break out of that slump here in this one. He's ahead in this count, 2-0. Jones only 21 walks in his 76 2/3 innings that he's pitched this season. Not going to walk a lot of batters. Again, as mentioned, 0 tonight. Finds the strike zone there, 2-1. Sun's starting to set here at Ragsdale Field. We got a little pink in the sky. It looks beautiful out there tonight. It's a gorgeous Friday night here at Burger King Stadium, but we wish the scoreboard was being a little kinder to us right now. Down 5 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-2 the current score. 2-2 pitch inside on Evans, and that clipped him, and he'll walk on down to first base. Looked like that might have hit his forearm there as he was thinking about swinging around. So Evans will take first base. Victor will move on over to second. Cougars have a chance here to do some damage with their best hitter, Mason McClellan, stepping up. Evans hit by a pitch for just the 5th time this season. Who else do you want up there in this situation? Only 1 out, 2 on for the Cougars. McClellan with 4 RBIs in his last 3 games. Strike call to start this at bat. Time called. It's an 0-1 count. McClellan 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts, but man, his second one into deep center all the way back at the warning track, and then his first one was just shy of it. Just barely gotten underneath the ball in his first 2 plate appearances. One and one the count. 1 down and 2 on. Cougars down 5. Off speed, comes around. 1-2. Oh, McClellan looked like he might have been sitting fastball there. Wasn't ready for that one and threw him off a little bit. So he looked at that one and shook his head. Jones, the 1-2. McClellan sent into right field, and there is Evans for the out. Moving on over to third base is going to be Victor. So again, McClellan just missing out on that base hit. That one hit a lot faster, a lot lower. It was more of a line drive into right.
The designated hitter, Hart.
McClellan 0 for 3 on the night. Heads back to the dugout, and runners on the corners here for Hart. The senior out of Gainesville, Florida. Did pick up an RBI earlier tonight in his first at-bat when he singled through the right side, and he had an RBI in the series as well, the last series for the Cougars against Francis Marion. Cougars have got to start delivering here with runners on the base paths. Try to find a way to slowly get back into this one. taking off for second base and easily sliding in his Evans yet again, his second stolen base tonight. Again, Peach Belt Conference Tournament being played down at Florence, South Carolina. Again, a double elimination. Keep that in mind. All that action begins Wednesday, May 10th. Cougars will be either the 4 or the 5 seed. They will for sure be taking on UNC Pembroke. Just matters on who gets the higher seed. Two and one the count. 2 on in scoring position. A basic single here may have a shot at scoring 2 for the Cougars. See if Lake Hart can deliver. Looks at a ball there, 3 and 1. With his RBI earlier in the bottom of the first, Lake Hart with 27 RBIs on the season. Prime time opportunity to get the Cougars on the board here in the bottom of the 5th. Jones delivers the 3-1, full count. Two down, 3-2 pitch inside. Oh boy, a called third strike. Wow. That was pretty far inside there. A brutal call there as the Cougars will remain at 2 runs. 7-2, still the score after 5. Here we go to the top of the 6th at Burger King Stadium. Still a 7-2 score in Augusta in front of the Cougars. Again, no bearing in the Peach Belt Conference standings, and it won't even be reflected on their records, as this is more so of just an exhibition, but still a regular season matchup between these two. Nice snag there from McClellan over at first base. 1 down. Quick out there for Cucci. Lanford at the plate with Roberts on deck. Lanford, top of the lineup, coming around for the 4th time tonight. He's still one of the few Jaguars that's hitless on the night, but he did reach the base pass via an error back in the top of the 3rd. 0 for 3, but does have a run scored. Swinging and missing there, 0-2. No one on, one down. Cucci trying to get a hold of things once again on the mound and swinging and missing there, picking up the strikeout. So 2 quick outs there as Cucci picks up the strikeout for the Cougars. That'll be his 3rd on the night. 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, 6 hits, 7 runs, but only one of those runs is earned thanks to the 3 errors for CSU. Pretty weird stat line there if you're Caleb Cucci. Starts with the ball in this at-bat to Tyler Roberts. He's given up 1 or less runs as far as the earned department goes in 3 of his starts this season. Most walks he's had this season coming into this one was actually in his last start against Francis Marion when he walked 3 batters. Tonight, already 4. Through 5 2/3, he's approaching the 90 pitch mark. And there's a 4-pitch walk. 5th walk of the night for Caleb Cucci. Heading on down there is Roberts. Hardy at the plate. So a season high for Caleb Cucci in the walk department with 5 of them tonight. Roberts on first. Hardy at the plate. Fouling that one there was Hardy. And boy, they're going to say that it crossed home plate. It didn't come back at all. And a nice little heads-up play there by Delavy to tag the runner, or the batter, that is, Hardy. So there's the 3rd and final out. Still 7-2. You're watching Cougar Sports TV. Bryce Delavy to lead things off here. It's the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back to Cougar Sports TV. Well, been a little bit of a rough go-round here tonight for CSU. They trail 7-2. Had 3 errors in this one. Only 1 of those 7 runs, though, has been earned for Cucci. Still out there is Tristan Jones. He's gone 5 innings, given up 6 hits, 2 earned. Struck out 3, hasn't walked a single batter so far. Delavy looks at a ball to start this at bat. Delavy 1 for 2 on the night. Has a single and a fly out. Looks at a strike there, 1-1. Again, Cougars trying to prepare themselves for the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Double elimination, and they will be taking on UNC Pembroke as Delavy pops that one up on the infield. Quick out there with Turner Vincent coming to the plate. The Cougars have had their chances. They've had multiple base runners on throughout the innings, but haven't been able to deliver the past couple of times. Yeah, 2 on in scoring position in the bottom of the 4th. And then 2 on in scoring position again in the bottom of the 5th. So back-to-back innings now that the Cougars have had an opportunity to plate some runs. Vincent trying to draw that hit by a pitch technique. That one was inside, 1-0. Outside, Vincent went swinging for it, and hardly having to move out there in left field was Hardy. 2 down.
The right fielder, Drew Webb.
Two quick outs for the Cougars here in the bottom of the 6th. They've got 6 hits overall. Augusta with just 5, but they've got 7 total runs on those 5 hits. 5 more than the Cougars right now, 7-2. The freshman at the plate. Cougars 291 this season, and as we talked about, boy, last season hitting .343 with 82 home runs. They've got about half of that this season, 40 home runs. And then in the extra base hit, as far as the doubles department goes, 132 last year, only 71 this season. Night and day difference between these two squads, but a little bit of that was expected coming into the season with so many new hitters for CSU. Some growing pains for Columbus State, and Coach Appleton knew that was going to be the case. I think the biggest surprise, though, overall has to be the pitching and how successful it's been for CSU this year. You're talking about a team with pretty much all of their starters and pitchers coming back as far as the rotation goes from last year when they had an ERA of 5.49. And now they're sitting at just 3.61, which puts them in second in the entire Peach Belt Conference, as you see Webb drawing the walk there to reach first base.
The second baseman, Grant Berry.
So they go from leading the country in, runs, home runs, hits. I mean, you can keep going down these statistics there, batting average. And then all of a sudden this year, they are leading in some pitching categories as far as the Peach Belt Conference goes. Taking off for second base, and no throw even going to be made there. Sliding in safely for the Cougars. So a runner in scoring position now for CSU, thanks to Drew Webb, who picks up his 11th stolen base this season. Oh boy, he's going to be picked off there. After stealing second base, Webb was caught in no man's land and then stumbled, trying to slide back in. He puts his head down. That's going to be the third and final out. Still 7-2 after 6 on Cougar Sports TV. Again, for the third straight inning, the Cougars strand a runner in scoring position as Webb was picked off on second base. We enter the top of the seventh. We welcome everyone joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. Score is 7-2, Augusta in front of Columbus State. Cougars, if you're just joining us, had 3 errors tonight already. 2 of them were in the top of the third. They picked up another, one from Cucci in the top of the fifth. Between those 2 innings, that's where Augusta has scored all 5 of their runs. Only 1 run has been earned so far to Caleb Cucci. 1-1 the count. Cummings will lead things off for Augusta as that pitch is in the dirt. For the Jaguars, it will be Cummings, Evans, and Janowsic. Cummings flares one into left. A leadoff base hit for the Jaguars. And that's the second hit of the night for Cummings. He, if you recall, had that 3-run home run back in the top of the third with 2 outs. Gets the better of Cucci once again. So Evans is up at the plate now, 1 for 2 on the night with an RBI, and he's drawn a walk as well. Augusta just 20-24 on the season. They 10-14 in Peach Belt Conference. Again, that puts them in the 8 hole, which will set them up to begin Peach Belt Conference tournament play against the number 1 seed, North Georgia. North Georgia 19-5 in conference play. The Cougars did give them one of those 5 conference losses. They have just 8 losses overall in the season, 37-8. One of the best in the country. They were ranked up top there according to, well, it depends on which rankings you look at, but the Cougars have had a couple of top-ranked teams roll into Burger King Stadium this season. They've been all right against them. They obviously swept USC Aiken, and that was a massive, massive series back in about mid-March. Just phenomenal performance for CSU. They came away with a 3-2, 8-1, and 10-9 win. That ball caught right close to foul territory, and there's the first out recorded by Drew Webb. Or after that sweep against USC Aiken, you thought, man, things are really going to continue to push forward for Columbus State, but then they ended up traveling to Montevallo where they had 3 straight walk-off losses. It was a brutal 3-game series for Columbus State, and boy, one that really kind of turned the tides as far as the standings department goes, because without those 3 losses against Montevallo, I mean, even if you pick up 1, maybe 2 of them, you're sitting in the 2nd seed, because they would have been tied with USC Aiken. And obviously they swept Aiken, which would have given them the tiebreaker, as that one is hit into center field, and another run comes across. That one will be earned to Cucci. 8-2 lead now for Augusta. Things just not going the Cougars' way tonight, and here comes Coach Appleton, and are we going to have a pitching change? We've got our complete game master, Caleb Cucci, who really hasn't been having his best stuff tonight. And it looks like there's going to be a change there. That'll do it for Cucci. He will exit here in the top of the 7th. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Cougar Baseball. Welcome back to Ragsdale Field. After the pitching change, it'll be number 35, Perez Knowles, coming in for the Cougars. Now the left-handed junior from the Bahamas comes here to CSU. As you recall, a Division I transfer. He played 2 seasons up at Troy and has made his way over here to Columbus State. This is his first season with the Cougars. 1.78 ERA. It's gone 30 in the 3rd inning while striking out 27. It's been great so far for Columbus State this year. Again, 2 years of eligibility here for Knowles. Runner over on first base. 8-2 is the score. Augusta in front. It's the top of the 7th inning here at Burger King Stadium. Knowles delivers that one high. Knowles making his 17th appearance this year. He's been in a lot of jams throughout the course of this season, but boy, time and time again he continues to find ways out of them. Although in his last game, which was the loss against Point, he ended up going 1 2/3, giving up 3 hits and a run. Knowles, a strike there, 2-1. Has picked up 27 strikeouts in his 16 appearances. Runner over on first base, swinging and missing there was Bogosian. One for 2 on the night as Bogosian doesn't have an RBI, and he's drawn a walk as well. That one fouled off. 2-2 the count. Bogosian, just a freshman for Augusta. Again, one of the numerous freshman starters for the Jaguars. Knowles going back to first. We've already seen 2 pickoffs in this one tonight. 1 from each team. Knowles, the 2-2, right down the middle, and got him looking. Knowles comes in and picks up a strikeout. 2 down. So the 28th strikeout of the year for the junior. He's got 1 more out to go here in this one to send us to the 7th inning stretch. Davis Murray at the plate. Swinging and missing there to start this at bat. Murray hitting .302 this season, but does have 13 strikeouts. Making just his 15th start tonight. The Cougars' 3.61 ERA that we've talked about a couple times tonight puts them at 26th overall in the nation. Again, just a massive improvement over the past couple of seasons. Murray 0 for 3. Reached on one of the 3 errors. Came around to score. 1-1 the count. Fouls that one back, 1-2. Again, Augusta, not really a great hitting team overall this season, but boy, what a night they've had with their 7 hits and 8 runs. Thinking about that one there as Knowles is trying to sell it by walking off the mound. Augusta ranks 12th in the entire Peach Belt Conference, so second to last in batting average, just .273. And their on-base percentage has them dead last. But boy, have they had their fair share of base runners tonight. 2-2 the count. 2 down and a runner over on first base. Knowles in relief of Cucci here in the top of the 7th. He delivers, and there's a called strike. Back-to-back strikeouts from Knowles as he comes in relief for the Cougars. 8-2 the score. Stretch it out. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th after this. Here we go, bottom of the 7th at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. What a night it's been, and it's a gorgeous one out there. Couldn't ask for better weather, better participation from the crowd. I mean, it's packed here at Ragsdale Field, but unfortunately the score really has not gone the Cougars' way. They trail 8-2 here as we enter the bottom of the 7th. See if maybe we can get a little bit of a rally going here in this one. Grant Berry to lead things off for the Cougars. It'll be Berry, Cooper, and then top of the lineup coming back around for CSU. Out there starting his 7th inning of work is Jones. Gone 6 innings, given up just 6 hits, 2 earned. Struck out 3 and walked just 1. 2-0 count. Berry ahead in this one. Berry on the night 0 for 2. He has left 2 on the base paths as well. A couple of ground outs for the second baseman, and one of them was a double play. (3-0) sitting pretty. 4-pitch walk to start the bottom of the 7th. So the Cougars get the base runner that they needed as the freshman Landon Cooper will step up. Freshman from right here in Columbus, went to Lee County High School. Making just his 9th start of the season. Jones start this at bat with a called strike. Cooper did pick up that error earlier tonight back in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Berry on first base. Pitch inside, 1-1. Cougars have had their opportunities, 3 straight innings with at least 1 runner in scoring position. 2 of the innings have had 2. No runs have come across, though, since the bottom of the first when the Cougars led off with 3 of their first 4 batters with singles. Coach coming on out to the mound here. It's a 2-1 count. We'll have a word with Jones for Augusta. They've got their bullpen warming up. You've already seen 1 pitching change coming courtesy of the Cougars, as Cucci's night was complete there in the 7th inning of work. Speaking of, his final stat line, 6 1/3, scattered 8 hits, 8 runs crossed the plate, but only 2 were earned. Walked 5, only struck out 3. Threw exactly 100 pitches as well. Not the best stat line that we've seen from Cucci this season. Not a stat line that we've been accustomed to seeing as well. So no complete game and no chance at a win for Cucci. His lowest outing was 5 innings, 2nd of the season, on the road against Lynn. So tonight his 2nd shortest appearance. 2-1 the count. There's a strike. Evens it up. Barry on first. Cooper at the plate. Victor on deck. There's a ball just outside. We've got a full count. Only 2 walks all night for Jones, and he's got a full count here. Already walked Barry to lead off this inning. He's over on first base. Jones delivers. Cooper sends that one into center field, and right there is Wagner as the Cougars are now down and out. So Barry stays at first base, and the top of the lineup, Tyler Victor, coming around. Well, Victor and Evans have kind of been the leaders for the Cougars in this one. 2 for 3 on the night is Victor. Evans 1 for 2, but he was also hit by a pitch. So both of these 2 have been on the base paths 2 out of their 3 plate appearances. Let's see if they can keep things rolling here. Victor, the left-handed hitter, facing Jones right now. 8-2 the score. Augusta in front by 6 runs. Bottom of the 7th. Jones delivers. There's a strike, 1-1. The Cougars just 10th in the entire Peach Belt Conference in RBIs this season. Talking about 2 of the lower ranking RBI getters this year, as a strike is called on the inside there, and where the Cougars have not liked a number of these called strikes. Cougars ranked 10th in the PBC, Augusta 13th. So the RBIs, both of them low for these 2 squads. You've kind of seen the opportunities squandered here, the chances that the Cougars have had to get RBIs, but there's a single up the middle. 2 runners are going to be on the base paths on first and second base now for the Cougars. So Justin Evans will step up to the plate for Columbus State. Bullpen warming up for Augusta. We'll see how long they're going to keep Jones out there. Coach Howell, this his first year, an alum of Tennessee back in '05. He's been leading the way for Augusta, and in his first season, they're going to be making the Peach Belt Conference Tournament at least, as they're sitting as the 8th seed currently. 1 count. Runners on first and second. Evans at the plate. Evans sends one over the third baseman's head into left field. A base hit, and it's going to be an RBI one, as coming on to score is Barry, and wow, just sliding in safely there at third was Victor. 2 on in scoring position, and a run comes across, courtesy of the RBI from Evans. Well, here you go, CSU, a chance to come back into this one. 8-3 the score, and it'll be Mason McClellan inside the batter's box. He has had a little bit of a rough go, 0 for 3 on the night, but it looks as though Coach Howell is going to come on out, and that's going to do it for Jones. His night is complete. We'll take a break. 8-3, Cougars down 5. Eight to 3 the score. It's the bottom of the 7th. Cougars have runners on second and third. That's Justin Evans over on second base. Victor on third. Guess who's at the plate? Mason McClellan. In the midst of an 0 for 3 night, but one swing can turn that all around. McClellan looks at a ball to start this at bat. So it'll be Cody Pugh stepping onto the mound for Augusta in relief of Jones, whose night is complete after 6 1/3. He went just as far as Cucci did for CSU. Cody Pugh, the right-handed senior out of Buford. He's got a 2-0 count here to McClellan. Pugh, second on the team in ERA with a 4.09 ERA. He's making his 16th appearance this season. He's gone 33 innings and has struck out 30 batters. McClellan ahead 2-0, and now he's ahead 3-0 and sitting pretty in this one. Huge opportunity for Columbus State here. 3-0 the count to the Cougars' best hitter. McClellan looks at a high strike called there, 3-1. Three-one pitch and back-to-back strikes with McClellan sitting. All of a sudden, this count is full. Well, that turned around quickly, but here's your opportunity. 2 on in scoring position. Evans on second, Victor on third. The payoff. McClellan swinging and missing there. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Boy, a rough go-round for the junior. Hitting .388, leading the team in home runs, RBIs. Can pretty much go down the stat list there. One of the best in the entire nation, and he's had chances with runners in scoring position, but 0 for 4 tonight. So Pugh picking up the huge strikeout for Augusta. 2 down, and Lake Hart back up there. He's had a very productive night for the Cougars, picking up that RBI back in the bottom of the first. That pitch inside, but called strike there on Hart. Oh, when you see that inside strike continually being called, you've got to adjust to it as a batter. You're not going to get the umpire to change his mind on that one. 1-1 the count. Again inside, but a little too far that time. 2-1. Two and one. Hart drops that one over to first base. Backhanding that one and flipping it over to Pugh are the Jaguars. Cougars strand the runners yet again. 2 on in scoring position. It's 8-3. Cougars trail as we head to the top of the 8th. Here we go to the top of the 8th at Burger King Stadium. 8-3 the score. Noel still out there for Columbus State. Well, he picked up a couple of strikeouts when he came in relief for Cucci, and see if he can keep that going here for CSU. At the plate is Wagner to lead things off for the Jaguars. Again, the Cougars had 2 on in scoring position. They've had that opportunity in 3 of the last 4 innings. Runners on second and third that have been stranded. In that other inning, they had a runner on second, stranded as well. So a rough go-round for the Cougars, leaving runners on the base paths. Wagner sends that one into deep right center field, and Victor is there just inside the warning track to record the first out. So we've got the top of the lineup coming back around once again for Augusta, the 5th time tonight. Lanford still without a hit. He's 0 for 4. That pitch outside, 1-0. Noel's 3-3 on the season, and he's got 3 saves as well. A 1.78 ERA. No go there. 2-1 the count. He's given up just a .225 batting average to his opponents this season in relief. Called strike there, evens the count. If you remember, things got off to a little bit of a slow start back against Erskine way back at the very beginning of the season in Knowles' first start. Had a couple of jams, gave up 4 hits, and 4 runs came across, but none of them were earned as he gave up that big home run in the 9-8 win against Erskine. He's battled back since then and has had a number of impressive relief outings for the Cougars. That one blooped into center field, and it's just going to drop in the middle of 3 defenders. Well, you can't really hit it into a better spot there if you're the Jaguars. Just lands at the perfect position, and that'll bring up Roberts to the plate. So picking up his first hit there for the Jaguars is Lanford. Roberts 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 runs, and is drawing a walk as well. Roberts leading the way for Augusta this season, hitting .325. 7th in the entire Peach Belt Conference in doubles with 14 of them. He's got 55 hits for Augusta this season. Knowles sends that one, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Taking off for third base, and Augusta is going to have runners on the corners. So 2 on the base paths for Augusta, that is, already with an 8-3 lead here in the top of the 8th. Knowles has worked himself into a little bit of trouble here with those back-to-back singles. Well, the Cougars have already turned a double play earlier tonight, courtesy of Justin Evans. See if maybe they can squeeze one out here with only 1 out. Hardy at the plate. And time is called. Hardy 0 for 4 tonight, similar to Lanford. For Lanford picked up his first hit of the night. Hardy 2 ground outs, 2 flyouts. Roberts has only stolen 3 bases this season. That's who Knowles was throwing back towards on first base. 1-0 pitch, just missing, 2-0. and 14 in Peach Belt Conference play. Again, keep in mind, even though both of these teams are inside the Peach Belt Conference, neither of these games will have any effect on their Peach Belt Conference record. Some games to prep both of these teams for the Peach Belt Conference tournament, which will begin this upcoming Wednesday, May 10th, down in Florence, South Carolina. The winner of that and anyone else that gets selected to the regional, that will begin Thursday, May 18th. Site obviously to be determined. Cougars were there last year. In fact, it was right here at Burger King Stadium. Not a memory that Cougar fans want to really rehash there. It's a rough go-round, losing back-to-back games here at home to start the NCAA regionals. Swinging and missing there as Knowles picks up another strikeout. So there's the second out that the Cougars needed. 1 more to go here to strand these runners on the corners.
Designated hitter Jamal Cummins.
Cummings at the plate. Nine hits overall, 8 for the Cougars, although the run differential quite different between these two. Again, they keep going back to Roberts there. He's got just 3 stolen bases on the year. Noel sends the first pitch of this at bat. A slow roller as Delavy's going to charge up on it and make the throw down to first base. There's the third and final out. Runners get stranded on the corners. We head to the bottom of the 8th on Cougar Sports TV. Bottom of the 8th at Ragsdale Field. 8-3, Cougars trail. Bryce Delavy will lead things off for CSU. It's a 2-game series against Augusta. Make sure you join us at the ballpark tomorrow afternoon. It'll be the final regular season game of the 2017 season for the Cougars. Right now they've got a 28-18 record. Their Peach Belt Conference record is complete. 15-9 this season. Right now sitting at the 4 seed, but again, they could be surpassed if UNC Pembroke is to sweep Armstrong State. That would put UNC Pembroke as the 4, making them the home team for the 4-5 matchup, which will happen next Wednesday. Pugh still back out there for the Jaguars. That one, a comebacker right up the middle as Bryce Delavy will reach first base. So a leadoff hit for the Cougars. And Turner Vincent will step on up.
The left fielder, Turner
Vincent 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. So we are on 5 straight innings now for the Cougars with at least a base runner on the base paths. They were able to pick up 1 run there in the bottom of the 7th, but they've got a lot more runs to go here. Pitch sent in, Vincent missing on that one. Looking at a called strike, and now Vincent is behind 0-2. 303 hitter for the Cougars this season. Coming to CSU from Wallace State Community College down in Hanceville. Hit over 300 in both of his seasons there, and he strikes out swinging on 3 pitches. It's been that kind of night for the Cougars. Vincent and McClellan, both of them unable to get anything going for CSU. So the freshman, Drew Webb, up at the plate now. Again, he's got a runner over on first base. One down, bottom of the eighth. The Cougars down 5 runs. One and one the count. Webb trying to get something going here. Maybe a late rally for the Cougars. Runner on first base. That pitch low and outside. 2-1. Pugh delivers, swinging and missing there. Now at 2-2 is the count. Delavy's still over there on first base, and now we've got a full count. Pugh delivers, swinging and missing there. Another strikeout recorded. That's back-to-back strikeouts from Pugh. Delavy wanting anyone to try to advance him as he sits over there on first base, and Grant Berry will come in to the batter's box. Delavy on first, Berry at the plate, 0 for 2. Did draw a walk, though, and eventually came around to score one of the 3 runs for the Cougars tonight. Berry right now has a 6-game hitting streak on the line. Hasn't picked up a hit tonight. That one inside on him, 2-0. Berry, 6-game hitting streak. He was 7 for 16 in his last 4 games coming into this one. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. The errors have really proved to be critical for the Cougars in this one. 8 runs have come across in total, only 2 of them earned. So if you take away all of the unearned runs, the 6 of them that is, you've got a Cougar 3-2 lead. Delavy tagged there on the grounder. That'll end the 8th inning. Still 8-3. We'll head to the 9th inning here on Cougar Sports TV. Here we go to the top of the ninth at Columbus State University. 8-3 the score. Cougars trail by 5 to the Jaguars. Again, no impact on the Peach Belt Conference standings in this one. The Peach Belt Conference play is complete for all but 2 of the teams still out there. UNC Pembroke taking on Armstrong State in the final 3-game series of the Peach Belt Conference this weekend. On 1 the count. That one sent over to Evans at short. Backhands it. Long throw to first. 1 down. Good start here to the top of the ninth for the Cougars. 1 quick out. Knowles still out there. Remember, he came in the 7th inning for Columbus State. He's already gone 2 innings, giving up just 2 hits while striking out 3. That one chopped foul. Knowles ahead in the count once again. 0-2 the count. Knowles delivers, again fouled off. Oh, 2. Evans, backhanded, deep in the hole. Long throw, dug out by McClellan. Flashing the leather there was Evans, trying to make up for his error back in the 3rd. Back-to-back backhanded snags for the shortstop. Two down, no one on. Knowles starts this at-bat off with a strike. Bogosian at the plate right now. And that one, a slow roller over to Barry at second. He'll corral it, and 3 up, 3 down. Knowles makes quick work of the Jaguars there. 8-3, we head to the bottom of the 9th. Can the Cougars get a rally going? Here we go to the bottom of the ninth on Cougar Sports TV. Well, if you take out the errors and the unearned runs, it would be a 3-2 Cougar lead. Unfortunately, the 3 errors and the 6 unearned runs has this one at an 8-3 score line. Cougars trailing, entering the bottom of the ninth. Pinch hitting right now for the Cougars is Austin Collins, number 15, the sophomore, making his 16th appearance this year. And he looks at 2 strikes to start this at bat. Coming into the game for Augusta, Joey Stillwell to pitch the 9th inning, has a 5.14 ERA. He's got 5 saves, leading the way for Augusta, 5th in the Peach Belt Conference, but this obviously not a save situation, as he's just going to take it himself on the 1 unassisted. Quick first out. Cougars down to their final 2. Top of the lineup, which has actually been pretty productive for CSU tonight. Victor 3 for 4, Evans 2 for 3. Both of them have scored. Evans a couple stolen bases and an RBI as well. So a good night from the top of the lineup, but fortunately it hasn't quite turned into the runs, as it's been a little bit of a rough night for McClellan. Again, that pitch high and outside. Now 3-0. 3 straight balls. And there's a 4-pitch walk. So Victor will head on down to first base.
Shortstop, Justin Evans.
Victor on first, Evans at the plate. Again, we talked about Evans' success tonight. 2 for 3, an RBI, a run, and 2 stolen bases, and he's also been hit by a pitch as well. Stillwell delivers a strike to start this at bat. Stillwell making his 17th appearance. He's gone 28 innings, striking out 23 and walking 12. Evans looks at a ball outside, 1-1. That one sent into deep left field, but not deep enough for the Cougars. Evans just missing out on that one, as Hardy was there for the second out. 1 out remaining for the Cougars tonight. Maybe McClellan can try and get a crack at it here. He's already had 2 come just shy of going over in right field. For 4 tonight is McClellan. He's got Victor over on first base. And that one on the first pitch is sent into deep center field, back at the warning track and just shy of the wall. Well, it's been that kind of night for Mason McClellan. And for the Cougars as a team. That'll do it here at Ragsdale Field. Augusta taking the opening game 8-3. Keep in mind, no harm done in the Peach Belt Conference standings between these two, as this is just a regular season game. So the records will remain the same as far as Peach Belt Conference play goes. The Cougars will fall to 28-19, while Augusta improves to 21-24. Make sure you join us at the ballpark tomorrow afternoon, as Augusta will be right back here taking on your Cougars at 2 p.m. local time. That's going to wrap things up here at Ragsdale Field for our scorekeeper, Josh Fuller, our producer, Stephen Williams. I'm Corey Aldis. The final here, Cougars fall 8-3. We will see y'all tomorrow afternoon.